Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your ever-loving host, Shorty. And today, we're revisiting AWA, who do excellent things, really enjoying a lot of what they're doing at the moment, and also revisiting some Garth Ennis. It's been a while, with Marjorie Finnegan, Temporal Criminal. And if you read the back matter by the man himself, he does say one of the first things that came to him was that title, because it's just a lot of fun to say. Marjorie Finnegan, Temporal Criminal. Got to agree with him. And he goes into a little bit about how the process came together, but we're not here to discuss that so much. We discuss the comic book. And straight off the bat, which is a phrase I use a lot, I realise, it feels like it's kind of self-aware, even self-referential. And it might just be me. It might just be because one of the things I often criticise Garth Ennis for is his Run of the Boys, where there were effectively 3 jokes in the entire thing, and the fact that the TV series managed to be way better than it is not a big surprise to me. And it's not like that's all he can do. Garth Ennis is an excellent writer. His Hitman is brilliant, Preacher fantastic, his Run of Punisher is just superb. He's one of my favourite Hellblazer writers, and he can really use humor effectively as well as can put emotion in there. It's just sometimes when he goes for nothing but humor, also included in that would be dicks, it tends to be the most puerile humor going. And as the comic book starts, you have boxed out text, which basically you find out is Marjorie herself kind of having an internal monologue, criticizing people who criticize her sense of humor for being childish and puerile. And it's like, okay, is that just on the nose, or is it just me who thinks his sense of humor can be that way? Maybe he's never heard anyone say that about him before in his life, and everyone loves his sense of humor apart from me. But I can't help but feel it is a little bit self-aware. And because of that, I was thinking, well, okay then, if you're doing a comic book which clearly has humor as one of its more important elements, let's see how you're going to play that out. First off, yes, there is a certain level of infancy to it, but it's certainly more sophisticated than his work on Dicks and work on Boys. The jokes are a little bit cleaner, not in terms of like a dirty or clean joke, but crisper, shall we say. And there's humor derived from scenes and sequences rather than just trying to do jokes, which helps a lot when it comes to comedic writing, I found. And the plot itself of a Temporal Criminal and Temporal Police Department is nothing particularly new and out there. I mean, Rick and Morty had a thing with that in not even that long ago, so we know we're not dealing with something unique here, but it's how you do it that makes it fun. And I've got to say, he does manage to do this quite nicely. He has a Nazi going back to help people defending it to Vikings. The payment there being lots of gold and blonde girls, and it's like, yeah, okay, that is kind of accurate, I suppose, if we're dealing with time travel and Nazis. But he does it in such a way that even though it's horrible and happening, there is a humour to it, and there's also quite a lot of violence and gore in it, which is quite nice. Because when you look at the art style when it first kicks off, it's surprisingly clean lines, but when you do get to the goriness of it, it's effective because of that. It's not all grim and dark and overuse of negative space and blackness and shadow. It's actually really over the top and happy, which again fits in with what he's doing. He says the idea of Marge was that she was a girl who was always running and always having fun. Not running because she's scared or to get away from something, because she's running towards something, because she wants to just keep going and having fun. And the art style really lends itself to that very effectively. And there's one thing the artist does quite nicely. Yesterday, when I did my Star Wars review, I was talking about how effective it was that the artist managed to get emotion across with somebody who doesn't have a face. Well, in this one, we have somebody who's literally just a head. And again, with dialogue and facial expressions and all manner of things, they managed to get across another huge amount of emotion through that. Again, I say again, not the same artist or anything like that, but it's nice to see comic books going that way and doing that really effectively, and it does. The entire comic is joyful because of the pacing, the subject matter, and the artwork, even though the story at times is really quite grim and violent. I mean, there's a bit where she's talking about going back in time and creating paradoxes and how it's solved. And it's basically by having all the things you do terribly just get slipped into the actual time stream for something that would happen to be more appropriate. And some of those are pretty unpleasant. I mean, yeah, these people are getting murdered anyway, but then the alternate for it, it's got a certain darkness to it, but because of the lightness of tone, it comes across as more humorous, and it's really effective, well done effectively on that one. This is one I did really enjoy. I'm not going to go out there and say it's the best thing I'm reading at the moment. It's not even the best AWA thing I'm reading at the moment, but I'm glad I put it on my pull list. It's not the most challenging thing you're going to read, but if what you want is, as Garth Ennis says, just a whole bunch of fun, I don't think you're really going to go wrong with this one. It is excellent. Okay, that's it from me for today. I might do another one tomorrow because there's Hey Kids comics that I've got to review, but who knows if I get the chance. Tomorrow's a Saturday. So if I don't see you before, I'll be back on Tuesday. Take it easy, stay safe, bye.